Who remembers this? This goes back to the very first video. If you watched it, you'll know that the base cushion for the aeroplane rear seat was a mismatch. It didn't match the rest of the interior. So I had to adapt it to make it fit with the rest of the interior. And I said I was going to leave it to last to do the patterning. Well, it's now last. So I'm going to start patterning this. First thing I need to do before I start patterning it is to draw seam lines all over this. It's symmetrical, so I'm only going to do one half. Once I've drawn the seam lines, I can start to do the patterning. I need a marker pen, a couple of rulers, tape measure, and patterning plastic. Oh, and upholstery skewers. These things, these are just for holding the patterning plastic in place. What? Flexible ruler, flexible tape measure, marker pens. That's it for now. Until I've drawn the seam lines on, I won't need the patterning plastic. I'm going to pattern the outside one first. So we do have a slight discrepancy between front and back, but I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit. I also need to find my line along here as well. This is the front, and the leather will be coming to here. So I need to kind of draw that line in. There. And the same at the back, but we don't have to come quite as far around at the back, because obviously it's the back. That is the lines drawn in just for this bolster, and I've put the match marks in as well. This is just an old bit of patterning plastic. I've used it for another job, so it has got things on it, but I don't need it anymore. All I'm going to do is just roughly at the minute, just get this into place. I'm going to work from this centre roll here and work outwards either way. I think that's probably the best plan for something like this. And I'll just adjust the patterning plastic as I go along, as long as I've got enough pins where I'm working. So I'll just cut off some excess first, or not excess, I'll just put some relief cuts in. And that's fine there. Another pin in now, around about there. We got it here. Yeah. So this is just a case of putting loads of relief cuts in and just working around it. I can now remove that. Can now join the dots. Now, if you're wondering why I don't just draw lines and I dash things in, if you draw lines, you'll end up with quite wobbly lines, and then you're not sure which part of the line is correct. But if you dash, you've got a better chance of actually getting that mark in exactly the place you want it, and then just join the dots later. And you make it look like how you think it should be. So here we had a dash that was sticking out, a bit proud of this line here, but it's better to have a straight line than to come into that dash and then back, because it shouldn't do that. Now I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to offer it up to the seat again. Happy with it like that. So the pattern is now on, and I think I'll be looking absolutely fine with that. I may have to just trim this edge down here. So hopefully this pattern, if I flip it over, should do exactly the same on the other side. Happy with that. There that is. Obviously the ends are different, so it won't have that on the end when it fits here. So that one pattern from this side will actually work on this end, which is nice. Nice that I don't have to make another pattern, but I will have to adjust the size of it regarding where it comes this way, because I think the bolster on the backrest is much bigger than these. So I'm going to have to bring it wherever it needs to be when it comes to the seam, because I'm not sure whether we're going to have a tartan patch through the middle of here and up the backrest and the armrest, or it's going to be leather. The decision hasn't been made yet. So that's all I need to do regarding patterning. Well, no, I still have to pattern this centre panel here, and that should be it. Now I also measure the width of it because I'm going to make it as a rectangle. So whatever the pattern says, I'm not bothered about the whole of this. It is just literally where the match marks are. So I'm going to cut a strip of patterning plastic, probably 4 inches, just for extra stability, and kind of tuck it in here like it would be that's it. That's simple. And hopefully that should do for both sides. Well, it will do for both sides, because it has to, because it's going with the pattern that I've done that is going to do both sides anyway. So that is that pattern. Now, I hope, well, I have long enough lengths of this check. I think I have. I think I should be all right. Right, so that is, I wouldn't say it. I need to offer one of the backrests up to here. I have got one that's finished, so I'll offer it up. I'll find out where this seam needs to be, and then I will start cut out the leather for this and the centre panels. Roughly where I want the leather to be. So that's where that seam needs to be, here, and I need to score it up from where the fabric needs to be. So let's see what we're looking at. Five and a half inches. So that's where our seams need to be for the seat, and that will marry up with the backrest. Right, I can now put this to one side. No, I can't. I need to try this on here and see. That's all that patterning now done. I can now cut the leather out. And I'll also double check whether there is enough check fabric. I think there will be. I did lie to you when I said that was the last of the patterning. Still need to pattern this end yet, so I'll quickly do that. It'll only take me a couple of minutes. That's done. So now that's all the patterning done. Now, I won't put this one on Mylar, but I will put this one on Mylar. This is only 2 pieces. It's not worth making a third piece just to make life easier. It's not complex. Easy enough to draw around that with a seam allowance. But this I will put on Mylar because I'm cutting 4 of these, remember? And it's much quicker if I make 1 Mylar and then just draw around 4 others. And this doesn't actually need to be done anything with. It's just a reference more than anything else, because the measurement is there and the width I got written down, and it's just a reference for the match marks. That's all that's for. So I'll put this one onto Mylar. You've seen me do this before, so I'm not going to film that. I'll come back to you probably when I've cut everything out and I've fitted it. If you've watched all the previous videos, you'll have seen me do this whole process before, so I'm not going to repeat myself. If you're interested, you'll have to go and watch those. I will leave a link in the description as always, and also to any other videos that are relevant to this. I'll probably speak to you. It might be like 2 days from now for me, but it'll be 2 seconds for you. So that's the backrest now done for the rear seat. I've actually done the base as well. So I'll just get the base now and show you them both together. So this is the seat base. If you remember back to the first video on this aeroplane, this seat base didn't match the backrest. It was from a different aircraft. I can't see if everything lines up at the front because obviously I'm stood back behind it. I've done my best to maybe see. You tell me, does everything line up? I think it does. Still got to make the headrests. I'm going to put all the seats to one side now. Done the 2 front seats. Still need to do all the headrests yet, but there will be the very last thing. I've got some trim panels now that I need to cover. Now I am going to be tight on leather. I don't want to have to order another. I think I can get this in half-eyes. So another half-eye to do things like headrests. So a couple of these panels now that I need to trim are reasonably large. So I'm just going to work out whether I've got enough leather to do the panels and the headrests and other bits and bats. And I don't think I have. I think I am going to have to order another half-hide. But I don't want to order one and then realise I don't need it. So if you enjoyed that video, give it the old thumbs up and hope to see you again. Thanks for watching. Bye.